clone for music. I have a clone for film. I have a clone for my personal life. I have a clone for my family life as well. So that's how it gets done.
I can say clone. I want to say clone. All right, so there's like a clone.
I think you have to. I think you have to. They kill you if you try to walk away.
Investing with the UCPI in Mexico, he sees what they do, how they show up, how they support their fans. So it's amazing to me to see the growth of the sport. The Mexican fighters are here. The Mexican-born fighters are...
And slowed.
I really got to be careful when it come down to going down these conspiracy theory rabbit holes, because, bro, you really can get lost. I'm talking about you will get lost in the depths of your own mind. You get lost simply by engulfing too much knowledge.
Man, what's good with the collective? Y'all know we back with another banger, another reaction. I appreciate everybody who been tapping in, running up, and subbing up. If you new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos every smooth 7, and this is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps collective grow, helps collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. But if you're watching on TV, whatever the case is, I wish it was smooth 7. It might be a trigger warning or 2. I hope not. But I did have to go ahead and say, y'all know when we say coming back with 4 videos every smooth 7, would y'all like more? Would y'all like less? Or would y'all like to keep it the same? So 4 or less than 4 or more than 4? Y'all let me know. I know it's been almost 3 years now. We're going up on 3 years. Tell me if y'all want some changes. Let me know. Spam it up. Oh yeah, happy belated to Daria. Had to go ahead and give her a shout out again. I think I told her on her last birthday as well, but happy belated. Appreciate y'all, appreciate the support, appreciate the love. Y'all know what it is. Let's get it rocking. I ain't gonna hold you. Let's get straight to the video, man. Let's go.
This is in the 1920s, and you'll never look at a fire hydrant the same after this, okay? These ladies have a transmitter receiver box in their hand. They wrap the cord around the fire hydrant that is grounded in the ground, electrical currents coming up, everything's connected in the city, and they make a call. They make a wireless call in the 1920s. Now, this is a smart city. This is a smart city using the Earth's natural currents to call somebody in the 1920s. What are we doing here? Why are we getting excited about the little technology that we get after it was invented or found hundreds of years ago? Hundreds of years ago.
Facts, bro. Facts.
There's an interesting way of travel in Egypt, and it's not on a boat. It's in these. These are giant granite boxes. This one's in Edfu Temple, and it's a throne. The temple itself shows you how to use these boxes for solar travel. You don't enter the temple from your temple, the two sides. You enter the temple from the center. Center is the corpus callosum that links the two hemispheres together. So symbolically, when you link the two hemispheres together, you earn yourself a wedget. Wedget comes out of the third eye, the one that can see the snakes. The wisdom of the snake is the physics of vibration today. Now the box is on the boat because the box carries you through the wormhole. That is the boat. That boat sits on the vibrations of the microcosm, the atomic, and the macrocosm, the galactic. So how do you interact with all this? The physical layers of your body are what you're inhabiting right now. The nervous system animates this matter using a mysterious force that science will not recognize. Closest analog that we have would probably be plasma. That invisible body is called the Merkaba. Mer being the light wave. The Ka and the Ba are your individual expression of the entire spirit of the universe. Merkaba is the vehicle used to surf those waves like Kelly Slater. Everything is working in torus or donut form. Electromagnetic link is the...
Who with him? Who against him? Pause it if y'all need to see each one.
There's ancient maps that talk about the old world. Most of human civilization that we see now is underwater.
Yep.
All of the ruins is underwater.
1,000%. Right.
You know, the scariest thing to me is that at the top of Mount Everest, they find these 8 feet in diameter oysters. So that means at one point in time, Mount Everest was completely underwater.
Absolutely.
The highest point on the planet was completely underwater. And then the tallest mountain is actually currently underwater. Where do 90% of UFO sightings originate and leave from?
The water.
The water. Why is Rear 2-Star Admiral Tim Gallaudet coming out saying that they track certain locations outside the Catalina Islands to rock formations under the water that look like an entrance to something?
But then they say, let me keep it a buck with y'all. If the Pope ain't the devil, he the devil's general. He's the devil's soldier. He do some type of work for the devil.
We may also have been lied to about why there are tides. And I'm sure you're probably thinking there's no possible reason that there'd ever be justification to lie about why the tidal currents occur. But after watching this video, I can guarantee it will start making sense. Now, according to the official academia, including McGraw-Hill, the textbooks we all studied from in school, the way the tide works, McGraw-Hill, by the way, is owned by Pergamon Press, which is called Satan's Throne in a biblical translation, and it's owned by Robert Maxwell, which is Ghislaine Maxwell's father, but we'll save that for another video. According to the official story, tides are caused by the moon's gravitational pull. Now, despite the moon having many phases, the tides are entirely consistent. Every day, there are tides coming in and out. Even if the moon is not out, if it's a full moon, or if it's a sliver toenail moon, doesn't affect, the tides are tiding no matter what. But if the moon's gravitational field is what causes tides, then how come in the Mediterranean Sea, the Black Sea, the Caspian Sea, and other massive lakes, like the Great Lakes, there are no tides? You'd think such a massive ocean would have tides, significant, similar to the big oceans. But that's not the case. Why? This is where it gets a little bit shocking. According to ancient civilizations who all believed the Earth to be quite a different shape than what NASA claims it is, there is said to be at the North Pole, which we can't go to, a gigantic mountain called Mount Meru, also known as Black Rock. It is a giant magnetic mountain, apparently. And there's said to be 4 rivers coming out of it. Notice also the 4 quadrants here. You have the Microsoft logo, which is also 4 quadrants. We have many corporate logos depicting 4 quadrants, perhaps in reference to this. We know they like to hide things in plain sight. But what they believed is that there is a vortex energy field at the center of the known Earth in their mind, which pulls the water in and pushes it out, pumping like a heartbeat, using electromagnetism, and the salinity in the ocean, of course, is highly conductive. And what adds credence to this, some of the roughest oceans in the world are closest to the North Pole, where the source of this pulling and pushing force would be, like the Bering Sea, which is the most violent sea there is. Lastly, I will say Nikola Tesla believed gravity to be a shaky theory at best, and he believed the world ran on electromagnetism and relativity, not gravity. Now, if you want to see me live discuss this in detail on my Rumble channel, just comment the word Rumble below and I'll send you a link to it.
It would make sense if there's a vortex that's pulling and pushing water and they can make it seem like, oh, there's this thing called gravity where it's pulling everything in. I could see them switching shit up like that. They switch everything like that. My question would be to those who say that the North Pole isn't what he just said, and it's not a big black rock there or mountain, and it's not called Meru, then why did Black Rock name their stuff Black Rock? Can you answer that for me? I'm just curious. I'm just trying to make this shit make sense here. I'm trying to connect all the dots. Let me know your thoughts if y'all disagree. I'm going to go ahead and say I agree with what he said. But if you disagree, let me know. Tell me why.
People in Dubai is being told to stay inside because of the rain, y'all. Because of the rain, y'all. We talking about Dubai. Desert. People being told to stay inside because of the rain. They said Dubai officials are telling people, don't come your ass outside unless you have to. Y'all see it's already flooded, but they're talking about more rain on the way. They said it was so much rain, y'all, that a lot of streets was covered in water. They had to shut down certain roads because it was so much water. And I hope y'all are paying attention. This is not normal for Dubai. That city is designed for heat, not for heavy rainfall. Whatever they did that day to the clouds, it shit up. It's wild, y'all. It's not even just Dubai. Look at Washington State. Look at Oregon. These places is flooded too. Someone got that faucet leaking, fool.
That? Oh, the FBI is now reporting that there's over 500 truck drivers that run on the road of I-40, and that's where most of the killings happen? Tell me more! Yeah, this has been going on for quite some time, but listen up. If you're driving on the I-40, you need to be super careful. Now listen, there are over 500 truck drivers that have been reported. They think there's more, but there's been over 1,000 women plus being reported as being unalived that were on the I-40 and had stopped somewhere and then were taken and then were tortured for numerous hours until these truck drivers decided to go ahead and unalive them. Okay. The FBI is wanting this to be known right now because, of course, the holiday season's coming up. That means a lot of traveling, and that also means a lot of unalivings. Oh, goody. What?
Sick ass people in this world. Y'all tell me this ain't hell. Damn. Prayers, man. Prayers.
Let's start with something nobody ever questions. Every ancient civilization carved dragons. Not dinosaurs, dragons. China carved them in jade. Scotland carved them on stones. The Norse carved them into ships. The Aztecs worshipped them. The Bible describes them. Different countries, different languages, different eras. Same creature, same shape, same features. How? If dragons were mythology, why did the entire world agree on the same myth? No internet, no travel, no shared mythology system. Yet they all drew the same reptilian giant with wings, scales, fangs, fire, and intelligence. Meanwhile, dinosaurs. Nothing. Not one carving. Not one drawing. Not one story. Until the 1800s. For thousands of years, humans recorded everything they feared and everything they worshipped. But somehow, the giant lizards we're told ruled the earth leave zero trace in human memory. No cave art, no legends, no ancient warnings, no carvings like we see with dragons. Then, in 1842, boom, dinosaurs suddenly appear. A brand new word, a brand new history, a brand new storyline. So, the question is, if dragons were fake, why did the ancients spend thousands of years carving them like real animals? And if dinosaurs were real, why did humans completely ignore them for all of history until the Victorian era?
Why did they worship dragons if they didn't like the reptilians, the draconians? That's the part I'm kind of having a like. What? They carved this, they worship this, but some of their teachings say they went to war with reptilians. I don't know. Y'all let me know. And then it makes me think maybe they did. Maybe dragons was here the whole time, and they didn't want us to know that for whatever reason. And they gave us dinosaurs. Another form of a dragon, just not flying. There's flying ones, but they're not all flying. I don't know. That's where it get twisted for me. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts. I have to agree, they just ain't smart enough to continue to keep the shit advanced. Some people would not want to admit that shit.
The symbols at the Hoover Dam in Nevada, these winged figures of Republic sitting right outside, maybe guardian angels or fallen angels. There's a 16-point star right next to it, and it's a compass, but it has the astrological symbols all around it. Also says to the magnetic pole of the earth, reminding us that this was built in alignment. Now, this plaque sits outside. Over 100 men lost their lives. Here is a photo of some of the men that were workers there, just looking to make a dollar. Now, remember that this dammed up the largest reservoir in the United States, which is called Lake Mead. Here it is. Remember, anything that is holding back water, that water is power. Water is power. And look at the symbol of the bridge there. Just the way everything is symbol. These little symbols are all throughout the plant. They say they also hold energy, but they also say they're Native American symbols. And there's just so much that can go on and on. I could just show you a whole bunch of stuff, but this was really intriguing and very highly energetic.
They look like fallen angels, but that star, don't it look like the same star with the 5% issue? know why.
Yeah. Look at this shit, y'all. Oh shit. My car feel like it's about to. Oh hell no. Hell no. Nah. I'm backing out of this shit. The water is damn near up to my. The water is up past my door. Ain't no way in the world. They got like f***ed up out here. Nigga, I'm not driving through. Nigga, it's cars up ahead stuck up there. I'm not. Hell nah. Nope.
707. Shout out to the 707, man. For real.
Tell me more about the jungles.
Go straight into that part. What I meant by nodes in the jungle is this. There are natural electromagnetic convergence points, geological hot zones where Earth's energy fields intensify or intersect. These exist around the planet. In Peru, Antarctica, the Himalayas, parts of Africa, and yes, deep in Venezuela, especially around the Orinoco River Basin and the Guiana Shield region. But here's the hidden layer. Hashtag geomagnetic nodes equals frequency gates. These aren't just interesting for geologists. These spots are like energy amplifiers. They affect biology, memory, and consciousness. In ancient times, people called them sacred sites or spirit portals. Now, militaries and corporations refer to them as strategic energy zones. Think of them like natural Wi-Fi towers, but instead of digital signals, they emit and amplify Earth's own magnetoelectric pulse. If you know how to tune in, you can manipulate frequency fields, impacting weather, thought patterns, and even emotion. There are ancient ruins, unmarked zones, and off-limits patches in Venezuela where weird anomalies happen. Compasses go haywire, satellite data glitches, people report visions or time distortion. These areas have been largely ignored in public discourse, but heavily monitored privately. Covert tech zones. There's strong evidence that private entities, possibly US, Chinese, or breakaway contractors, have embedded hidden tech or mobile research stations in these areas. Why? Because if you can control or manipulate a geomagnetic node, you can amplify psychotronic signals, disrupt or enhance weather patterns, HARP-style tech, influence mass consciousness, mask satellite data, or reroute surveillance. This isn't sci-fi, it's already being used. Some of these jungle regions are marked as ecological preservation areas, not to protect nature, but to keep people out. Why the jungle is a cover. Venezuela's jungle isn't just remote. It's a perfect camouflage for experimental tech and energy manipulation infrastructure. It's dense, hard to access, full of myths, and nearly impossible to monitor from satellites without exposing hidden installations. The Guiana Shield itself is one of the oldest geological formations on Earth, dating back to pre-human time. That means the energy here is primordial, pre-programmed, untouched by the global grid, and therefore a threat to synthetic control systems. So, what do? Build frequency dampeners nearby, run eco-military joint operations to police the area, spread stories about narco-trafficking to justify airspace lockdown, hijack the land with mining permits or research projects. But the truth is they're guarding something and mapping how to use it. #DNA reactivation zones. Some of these sites in Venezuela, especially where ancient cave glyphs, undisturbed waterfalls, and magnetic anomalies exist.
So if Ingersoll Lockwood's book was true about time travel and they were in Venezuela doing what they do, does that connect some dots for you? On top of that, when they went to Iraq, when they went to the Middle East and they said it was about oil or it was about 9/11, we know that was all cap. We know that they blamed it on oil, but we also know about the Stargates that were out there and they wanted the Nephilims, and that's a whole nother rabbit hole. Nephilims and Stargates, they were after, right? On top of much more, right? So when I hear everybody yelling, they're in Venezuela for oil, bro, it gotta be way deeper than that, because if oil is abundant, why are they worried about that shit? That's just what they telling the public, bro. That's my opinion. What I just said ain't true. This is all for entertainment. Nothing is real. Let me know what y'all thoughts is.
If Earth is going to lose gravity for 7 seconds in August of this year, Yes, back in 2019, NASA discovered a massive black hole. I think it's like a twin black hole. Twinsies. Anyways, it is sending some sort of gravitational ripple through space, some sort of massive energy that I can't even comprehend. I won't pretend to comprehend it. Yeah, and that's going to potentially cause some sort of gravitational interruption in Earth's atmosphere in August of 2026. And maybe that's why all these billionaires are building bunkers. It's not a polar shift. Well, I mean, maybe that's what causes polar shifts. Who knows, right? Certainly not NASA. For the record, NASA stands for never a straight answer, or not a single astronaut. Wouldn't it be crazy if Project Anchor leaked online a couple years ago, and basically it outlines, why did I say basically like that? Basically it outlines that the government has set aside $89 billion to survive this 7-second window where Earth loses gravity. Wouldn't it be crazy if the expected casualties are 40 to 60 million people in those 7 seconds will lose their lives? They're predicting that things that aren't tied down will rise 15 to 20 meters in the air. It almost sounds fun. What if we just like cushion the whole world? Just make it like a big cushion.
Oh no, I got a hard time seeing this one.
And I really hate to bother y'all with this. I think we can do this. I think if we really tried, put our minds and hearts to it, we could take our hair and connect it to the tree. I just want to see what that feel like. Maybe I might go too far, you know what I'm saying? Maybe they might be like, hey, stop connecting your dreads to everything. Oh, no more connecting your hair to giraffes. No more connecting your hair to sharks if you gonna be out there acting crazy. I'll be connecting my hair to everything, trying to get all the knowledge. I connect my hair to mushrooms. I might turn into a goddamn, I might turn into Jesus. I do that. I know all y'all want to know what that feel like, bro. I know y'all want to know what that feel like, bro. You don't even got to be a specific color, bro. It don't even matter what color you are. You could be blue, but you want to connect your ass to a goddamn tree. I know you do. You want to find a soul sister out there in the water and connect to it. I know you do. So do I. I'm finna go try. And I really hate to bother y'all with this. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like somebody should try. Somebody need to try.
When it comes to the capturing of Nicolas Maduro, Donald Trump is setting the stage for World War III, which is going to be the precursor to a cybernetic warfare, because Venezuela, they're strategic allies with Iran, China, and Russia. Now, the organization of the World Economic Forum talks about the destabilization process of the power grid being attacked by Iran, China, and Russia. Now, 2026 is also a 10-year, so how you not know that 2026 is actually a codex that's basically marking the blueprint for the 10 days of darkness. Now, the next 72 hours is going to be very critical for the world, because this is a psychological power play to amplify the global energy supply system through the oil. Now, as I've been telling you guys before, the Bible is nothing but a Freemasonic playbook. They talked about the collapse of Canaanite culture, because when you go to the book of Ezekiel, it talks about Gog and Magog, which is equated to China and Russia. Now, when you're talking about the power play of the power source of the oil, it talks about the 303 billions of barrels of oil, which is a Freemasonic number of 33. So everything that you see taking place right now is all scripted. Everything is a script that basically is talking about the fall of Canaanite culture, because it's connected to the Piscean age of darkness.
Keep going. Shout out to B-Dale, bro.
What type of Detroit shit is this, bro? I come outside to my car, lady, in the back seat. So you not getting out the car?
Can you please? Can you asking you as a person?
I know you said we gonna have a problem.
I'm asking you as a person. Can you please ask your sisters? Can I please just have a pair of sweatpants? And that's
they
it.
said
And
they already asked them. They said they don't got no pants. We can't do nothing for you.
Pajama pants, sweatpants, anything.
You
any kind of pants.
Listen,
Please.
I seen that pipe in your hand. You in my car doing. You know this is breaking and entering. How you gonna break into my car while I'm sleeping in the bed? You know you broke into my car. I told you is you gonna get out the car.
I am, please. I need a pair of pants, please. Okay.
I know, but no. When I asked you is you gonna get out the car, you said we gonna have a problem. Then I said I'm gonna call the police. You said then I'm going to jail. We gonna have a problem.
Just lucky he. Shit could have went worse.
How well do you remember the year 2020? Because a lot of people don't remember a bunch of major events that happened that year. A lot of people mention that 2020 feels like a big dream. There's a theory called the 2020 effect, and the isolation due to the pandemic has caused a lot of people to just forget about 2020 entirely. A lot of people hardly remember having to wear face masks everywhere we went. The toilet paper hoarding and the extreme price gouging on hand sanitizer. A lot of people don't remember the monoliths, George Floyd, and the BLM protests, the mystery seeds that were received in Texas, or the Subway yoga mat sandwiches. A lot of people don't remember ever being on edge as we waited for that asteroid to possibly hit Earth, Mike Lindell's meltdown over the 2020 election, the invasion of hornets, or the fire NATO. Many of these events have people scratching their heads, or they kind of remember these things happening, but it didn't feel like it was 4 years ago. 2020 was a year to remember, but a lot of people can't even do that.
I remember everything but some yoga sandwiches and some damn seeds.
Here's a map from the 1500s that shows Antarctica 300 years before it was discovered, and it shows it without snow.
In 1929, a group of historians discovered something pretty strange. It was a map from 1513 written on the skin of a gazelle. It was created by a well-known admiral of the Turkish Navy. Well, what's odd is that the map included Europe and North Africa, the coast of Brazil, several islands, and even Antarctica, which was not discovered until 300 years later. Not only that, but it was said that Antarctica was not covered in ice. The last time that occurred was more than 6,000 years ago. So this whole thing just doesn't make any sense. How did this man map a continent that's been covered by ice for the last 6,000 years?
Stuff like this makes me think there's a lot to our history that we're not being told. Shabadoo Bushkis!
That man right there, y'all see him? He a legend, bro.
Hey, y'all want to know the craziest thing about living abroad? Or especially being in Vietnam, bro. It's like realizing that everything that them people told us was a lie. Just to keep us in one spot, fam. Like, they talking about you gonna get it's wars going on around that bitch. But the only place mother getting killed is in America. Like, that's why we gotta stop listening to the media, listening to people, especially our people, the ones who never been there, because that shit is a lie. Just to keep you stuck, just to keep you scared, and for you not to live your life, bro. Like, these people don't want you. These people not with you. These people don't hate us. If anything, when you come overseas, you realize, like, bro, these people really love us. They love when they see American, like black Americans, maybe all Americans, I don't know, abroad in their country, because they like, what? We really foreign to them. Like, and they know who we are, but we don't know who we are, bro. That's why y'all gotta get out more. Y'all gotta live more. Stop being stuck and scared, because there's no reason for that. Like, for real, come live y'all life. Come experience this shit. Because they only want you in America so you can spend up all your money and live a depressed ass life, for real. Like, you can come over here and pay $200 a month for rent. Like, who don't want to pay $200 a month for rent? Like, y'all crazy as like, so stop listening to the media, bro. Come. Ain't no chemtrails going on in the sky. Sky just clear blue, you know? This shit is beautiful.
And it's still gonna be somebody in the comments that's gonna say, people who do this, they're paid. Nah, I think people who be in the comments saying that shit is either paid, work for somebody, or just a bot, bro.
This Bible from 1813 has something very interesting. It is a facts page that contains a list of people and events in chronological order. It says, whereupon we reckon that from Adam unto Christ are 3,947 years, 6 months and 10 days. And from the birth of Christ to this present year is 1814 years. Then the whole sum and number of years, from the beginning of the world unto this present year is 5,788, 6 months, and the said odd 10 days. In the year 1814 the world really was 5,788 years old. This year, 2022, the earth would be approximately 5,998 years old.
Why is nobody talking about this? In the 1560 Geneva Bible, there are some very interesting notes on the sidelines here. In Matthew 16:28, it says, "Verily I say unto you, there will be some of you that stayed here, which shall not taste of death, till they have seen the Son of Man come in his kingdom." The notes reads, this was fulfilled in his resurrection. In Mark 13:30, it says, "Verily I say unto you that this generation shall not pass till all these things be done." The notes say this word signifies the space of 100 years, albeit this came to pass before 50 years. And in Luke 21:32, Jesus says, "Verily I say unto you, this age shall not pass till all these things be done." The notes say, for all these things came within 50 years. Again, if all of this is true, and the lost books of the Bible that I showed you in the last video says Jesus was here in the year 5500 was his resurrection, and the Geneva Bible is telling you 50 years after his resurrection came the millennial reign, where are we really? So if his reign was in the year 5550 and it lasts 1,000 years to 6550, where are we now on the timeline? We're in the time of Satan. We're in the little season. And that's quite obvious for what's going on in the world today.
Somebody gonna disagree with that though.
A couple squares there, and literally, all right, so you have the Paul Keys. That's a Star of Remphan, but somebody's doing blood magic on here. 1733 5-pointed star, right? And then check out this one. You have the Knights Templar, skull and crossbones, Star of Remphan, Star of David. This is the Grand Lodge of the Masons of Massachusetts in Boston, Massachusetts. Check this out. Some wild stuff over here. Check this out.
We are historical investigators, and we are on the quest for truth. This symbolism is in our faces everywhere, and people walk by it every day and think that it has little significance, but in reality, all these symbols mean something wild. Believe nothing of what you hear and only half of what you see. They're all in the club, even the presidents. I love y'all. Stay wild.
They generate
And I wanted to see.
Just learn something new.
Is this a conspiracy theory, or Russia just sent the most chilling message ever? So today, on December 30th, Russia's legendary radio station Buzzard, that was silent for decades, suddenly started playing Swan Lake. And here's why it's terrifying, because in Russian history, Swan Lake, it's not just music. For example, it played during the fall of Soviet Union and also after the death of three Soviet leaders. So yeah, Swan Lake played during huge events in Russia. So yeah, now some people think that it was a chilling message from Russia, while other people think that it was simply hacked. And what are your thoughts?
This is the island of St. Bartholomew. And all of those purple little triangles are billionaires and their associated super yachts. This photo was taken today because all of these billionaires and their super yachts have decided to converge on St. Bartholomew Island for New Year's. You see, every year around New Year's Eve, the world's elite class, the billionaires and their pet celebrities and pet politicians, gather here, specifically at the Eden Rock Hotel, for a super yacht festival. For reference, this is where the Eden Rock Hotel is, if you're in the area. Also feels important to point out that this is where St. Bartholomew is, and this is Jeffrey's Island. And this year's guest list is stacked. We've got that evil bald man, Jeff Bezos, Miriam Adelson, that Israeli lady, or American lady. I don't know. Her allegiance kind of depends on the day. And then a bunch of other folks. Also, notably, Dr. Phil is there. I saw he was on the list this year as well. This next figure just drives me a little bit insane, so I have to tell you. But over the next few days, over 80% of all of the wealth on Earth will congregate on St. Bartholomew. Last year, 173 people attended the New Year's Eve celebration at the Eden Rock Hotel, which is located right there. And we are literally looking at most of all of the wealth on Earth right there. Just thought that was really interesting.
I'm gonna tell y'all something right now. They don't care that we know that they were there. And the simple fact that Epstein's shit has still yet to come out after all this time, and it should have already been out. I'm talking way before 2025. Way before 2024. This shit should have been out. This shit should have never been a problem. But since it is, I'm telling you, that 50 Cent documentary was to shut us up. And to make some people distracted after the fact that they still ain't gave the whole complete file yet. Diddy's documentary... 50's documentary on Diddy was just to shut us up to stop worrying about the real Epstein files, bro. They trying to give us Diddy instead of Epstein. When Epstein got away with this shit and he's still living somewhere on this planet, that's not true. I'm just coming up with shit. The rest of these billionaires figured, bro, if he can get away with it, we can get away with it. Some people gonna say that he got evidence on people, he blackmailing people. You right, but you think other billionaires ain't that smart either? You just think Epstein was the smartest billionaire to just figure that shit out? No, they all work together, bro. They all work together. A favor for a favor. An enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Wildest 13-month calendar you ever see. It has all the keys for you to get into alignment. Available on the 1st of January. But just wait, it gets way better. I'm going to show you what's under the hood. Every sacred symbol possible staring right back at you, and yeah, there's dragons in there. You know what's up. It'll be available for digital download. The link will be in my bio, and it will come with a ebook on the 13. You can learn more about getting into alignment with the 13 months and things that can help you support your journey. Modi or Fano.
And when I say enemy of my enemy is my friend, we are their enemies.
up. It's going to be a great thing for
They
the
might sell.
economy.
They might use it as an entry to exporting chicken to us, which would be, you know.
No, we will be exporting chicken to the Chinese.
Can we buy a Chinese firm?
No, not right now.
Then why should they buy one of ours?
Why not?
Because we can't buy one of theirs. Open up the market.
Very,
Quid
very
pro
well.
quo,
Yes,
Clarice.
we have capitalism and we embrace it, and they
And they don't,
yes,
Clarice.
We have, yes,
Clarice.
we have.
Market.
Very,
Quid
very
pro
well.
quo,
Yes,
Clarice.
we have.
We can't buy one of theirs. Open up the market.
Very,
Quid
very
pro
well.
quo,
Yes,
Clarice.
we have capitalism and we embrace it.
Don't come up with no excuses, because if I did that shit, I'd be canceled. Fast. Everybody be like, bro, he's switching.
Okay, so I just watched that video from the Swiss ski resort, and when I say traumatizing is an understatement, y'all, I don't know if I'm late or if this just isn't getting the media attention that it deserves, but over 4 people lost their lives. They're still looking for people. This all happened on New Year's, and when I say the craziest part is, people didn't realize just how fast things were going to change. Quite literally had their phones out chilling. So everybody's at the club at a Swiss ski resort getting ready to party and everything. And I guess somebody had a section or they asked for a bottle because the people came out with the sparklers, you know, just like a regular club night. And all of a sudden, I guess the sparklers had fire and it was too close to the ceiling. So a small part of the fire like erupts into the ceiling, right? Then it starts to grow. But nobody's alarmed. Nobody's like, oh yeah, we should get out of here. They just keep dancing. You hear people in the background like jamming to the music. The fire is slowly growing. But then they have what's called a flashover. Well, simultaneously, everything erupts and y'all start to hear people scream because there are videos, multiple videos of people recording and people are screaming, trying to get out the club. But when I say the fire was going so slow for the first few minutes and people were just laughing like, oh wow, look at the fire, and just looking up at the ceiling as if it was some cool graphics. Like, is screen time blowing people that much that people don't see danger right before their eyes, that the first thing you do is pull out your phone? And this is no judgment, but it's just like watching it after the fact, knowing how many people lost their lives, hearing people scream, and all of a sudden the flash over happens where everything bursts into flames all at once. So 1 minute you're chilling, you're looking at this fire, and then all of a sudden everything around you is just engulfed in flames. Is a whole horror story. It's a whole nightmare. This just happened on New Year's, and like I said, I haven't seen it on the news. I actually just saw a video on X. Can't really post all of it on here because I don't want this to get flagged, but definitely just want to share it with y'all. Let me know if you saw it. If you haven't, save this video, look into it, but please brace yourself. Per usual, this is development. I can't confirm or deny any information. This is alleged, but my heart goes out to everybody who's been impacted, especially the people who are looking for their loved ones, because they're still looking for missing people. And they say there were even teenagers in there. There were people from over 9 countries because this was at a ski resort. So it's still developing. Whatever else comes out, I'll be back. But whew, this is such an unfortunate situation, and literally, y'all, like, people in these circumstances with social media will just pull out their phone amidst like chaos, when the truth of the matter is you need to run, you need to get up out of Dodge. But it's just really unfortunate all around. Whatever else comes out, I'll be back. So like, follow, stay for some more tea.
The flu that's going around right now might be the worst flu ever. You got people that's sicker than they ever been, and then you have people experiencing symptoms, and these symptoms are 10 times the norm. And now they're saying they have a medicine recall. And the medicines that are on recall are cold and flu medicines. You got Benadryl, you got Dayquil, you have NyQuil, you have Tylenol, you have Advil. And all of these medicines are being urgently recalled. So they're saying that they discovered rodent feces in these medicines. You heard what I just said? The flu medicine that we use to treat the flu are on recall because they found mice feces in these medicines. So what they're doing right now is they're pulling numerous cold and flu medications from shelves in a flu season. And this is because of rodent contamination. Now you got to think about this. These medications treat the flu. These medications help people daily. And once again, we are in a flu season. Now it seems rather convenient that they will find this around this time, don't you think? So I say that to say this. If you have those medications, check those medications, because it just might not be the flu that you get sick from now. Pay attention.
So you thought that underground cities were fake? Oh no, they definitely real. And what you see behind me is the Darren Kuyu underground city. Now, this is one of many underground cities that are still out there in the world that haven't been discovered yet. And this one was discovered accidentally when a man knocked down the wall of his basement. And when the archaeologists arrived, they revealed that this city was 18 stories deep and it had everything necessary for underground life, including schools, chapels, and even stables. It's said to be almost 3,000 years old and could hold up to 20,000 people. So when them solar flares come, I might have to take a trip to Turkey. What do y'all think? Leave in the comments below for part 2.
Buy a house, own some land, and build your own shit.
All of this is normally underwater. The mighty Mississippi normally runs right through here. And check out all of these amazing rocks. Like, I'm obsessed with the lines and the flats and the layers and everything. And then this is all you normally see. We've been here a few years ago. We got some pretty cool pictures, but this is nothing whenever you think about the fact that you cannot normally see this. This is because the Mississippi River is so low. It usually goes up, like you can see my car up there. So it usually goes up a pretty good ways to like where all those wood and things are. Like, just amazing that this right here is usually in the Mississippi River. So if you're an adventurer and you like to scope out things, make sure you check and make sure that it is where you can walk across it, because it's not always like this. It's only in like the drought season that you can walk where the Mississippi, the mighty Mississippi, usually flows. So incredible. Look at this. Like, look, let's go over here to the edge. That's the Mississippi. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I'm telling you, that's the Mississippi.
I don't sound like a conspiracy theorist, but the whole thing about us living in a simulation, whoever picked me as their video game character needs to step it up.
Some of y'all are saying that there's a disappearing bar in Louisiana that's there one night and then not there the next day. I'm going to tell you everything I know about it, but I'm really looking for other people to weigh in. If you know about this, if you've been there, to let me know what's going on, because now I'm curious. So what happened was, last night I posted a story for my series, Spooky Scary Storytime, which is a series where I share listeners' allegedly true stories about the creepiest or most unbelievable things that's ever happened to them. That story was pretty much unrelated to what I'm going to tell you now, but essentially it was about a bar that was in Louisiana. Someone commented this, and I was confused when I first read this comment, because I thought that she was the one that submitted this story, which I read and have had in my email and have been saving for a rainy day. Well, she comments back and says, no, I didn't send you a story. So that means there's at least 2 people out there who have had experiences at perhaps the same bar that's there one night and not there the next. So I went back to the story that's been sitting in my inbox, and it was actually sent by someone named Jasmine. I emailed her back. But anyway, I'm going to tell you her story, and then you all weigh in. And if you know about this place, please let us know what's going on. Jasmine says she works in events, and a couple years ago she was in Louisiana for work. She was working in Baton Rouge, actually, and she was like pretty new at her company, and she was pretty young at the time, and so she had to stay in the same hotel room as somebody else that she was traveling with. So her and her coworker are staying in this room, and they get a per diem, which means that every day they get to go out and spend money on dinner. Last night they're in town. When all their work is done, they go out to this brewery that someone suggests for drinks and some food. So while they're at this brewery or this bar restaurant, they meet 2 guys. And Jasmine has a boyfriend back home, but her coworker is really interested in one of these guys. They're about the same age, early 20s. Dressed nice. Jasmine says that they're not dressed in a way that anyone that she would know from home would dress. Like, they're wearing suspenders. They're wearing like these cute little hats. She said they were really polite, really southern, and she was entertained by the way that they talked. Coworker really seems to be hitting it off with one of the guys, and they end up saying, like, do you guys want to go somewhere that only the locals know about? We can take you, like, we can drive you guys there. And Jasmine's coworker really wants to go, but Jasmine's like, I don't know, like, we don't know these guys. And they're just like, no, come on, like, it'll be fine, like, you don't have to stay out late, like, we don't have to do anything, like, let's just go. You guys should really experience, you know, Louisiana. Jasmine's coworker goes to the bathroom with her. She's like, please, can we go? Like, I just want to, like, I don't know, like, I really like this guy, it could be fun, whatever. And Jasmine's like, okay, fine. She sends her location to her boyfriend, so somebody at least knows where she's at. They get in the car with these 2 guys, and these guys start driving, and then they notice, like, as they're driving, that the city kind of falls behind them, and it's getting darker and more rural. There's fewer trees, more lights, more open land, but they're all talking and laughing in the car. Jasmine, after like 20 minutes, she's like, hey, how much farther is this place? Because she notices, like, they're not in Baton Rouge anymore. Doesn't recognize anything. Not that she really would anyway, because she's not from there, but she said they were taking like rural roads, but the guys seemed completely comfortable. Jasmine's trying to play it off. She's like, yeah, I just don't know how late I want to stay out. And her coworker is like, no, it's fine. Like, it can't be that much further, right guys? Right guys? And we're like, yeah, it's probably like another 20 minutes. So 20 minutes, they pull up to this like unassuming wooden building. It's just standalone at the edge of what looks like a field, but there's a feed store across the street from it. You can see there's lights on inside, but it doesn't seem like a bar. Like, there's no signage. It could be missed easily, right? Like, it's clearly a spot that only locals go. But they walk in, the guys seem to know everyone, they're saying hi to everybody. And Jasmine notices everybody's wearing like long dresses, pleated skirts, button-up blouses. Men are wearing suspenders and flat caps, and they're dressed like these two guys that they just met. Pretty much immediately when they walked in, Jasmine says she felt embarrassed, like she felt completely overdressed. Her and her coworker kind of exchange a look, like, I don't know if we're supposed to be here. And also the whole bar is like dimly lit, there's smoke everywhere. There's no TVs on the wall, and people are drinking out of like absinthe rips. Like, it is a spot, not something they're used to. People are looking at them when they walk in. Like, they're definitely clocking them as like, you're not from around here. Nobody says anything to them. And the guys kind of are calming down the crowd. Like, come on guys, don't be rude. Just go back to your drinks. Leave them alone. So the girls go up to the bar. The guys are like, we got you. The coworker tries to order a Captain and Coke, and the bartender's like, I don't know what that is. And she's like, you don't know what Captain and Coke is? And he's like, no. And she's like, okay, well, how about a like some kind of flavored vodka? And he's like, no, we don't have that. How about an Sazerac? The coworker's like, I don't know if I like that. I don't know what that is. And he just says, no, you'll like it. The bartender looks at Jasmine and he's like, you'll have the same thing, right? And she's like, I guess so. The guys that they're with pay in cash. They stayed for like 2 more rounds. She said she was just kind of sitting there texting her boyfriend. There was a jazz band playing. There wasn't like a DJ or like music over the radio or anything. It was a live band. So after talking to her boyfriend for a minute, he basically convinces her that this is a bad idea. He's like, you don't even know where you are. Like, you should leave, you know, get your coworker and call an Uber. Coworkers basically cuddle up to the guy that she's talking to at this point at the bar, and Jasmine kind of has to like drag her away. She's like, you know, just exchange numbers. So she tells the guy, okay, like, we have to leave, it's getting late, you know, what's your number? And he's like, I don't have a phone. She's like, you don't have a phone? And then he's like, no, I don't have a phone. And Jasmine had already called the Uber, so they go outside, and she's like complaining this whole way home about, oh, if he didn't want to talk to me again, he didn't have to tell me he doesn't have a phone. But then they start talking about how the whole time they were at this bar, they don't notice anybody on the phones. It's just something that they clocked like after the fact, after they left. Also, she said the Uber took a really long time to get there. So anyway, they go back to their hotel, they go to sleep, and the next morning is their flight. But when they wake up, her coworker realized that she left something at the bar. It was some kind of work laminate or something that she had to have for work, but it was something that was replaceable, but something that she didn't want to go back empty-handed without because it would reflect poorly on her for work. So Jasmine's like, okay, well, what's the name of the bar? And her coworker's like, I don't remember the name of the bar. And she's like, oh, I don't either. Jasmine's like, no problem. I have it in my Uber history. Like, I'll just, you know, we'll just call an Uber. We'll go there real quick and then we'll Uber to the airport. Pretty early in the morning, but she's like, maybe somebody will be at the bar. Like, I don't know. So they call an Uber. It takes a minute to get there. They Uber back to this location, and the Uber driver pretty much asks them, like, what business do you guys have out here? And Jasmine's coworker tells him the whole story, and he's like, I don't know of any bars out there. And she's like, no, we were at one. Like, it was really like old-timey feeling. I think it was just like a locals only spot. And the Uber driver's like, yeah, I don't know. I could be wrong. I've only lived here for a few years. So they're in the Uber for like 40 minutes. They pull up back to this address, and there's no bar there, but the feed store is there. And they're getting around. They're like looking around. They're very confused. They even are like walking around the car. So they ask the driver, like, how common is it that Uber would glitch and like it would show up a different pickup spot? And the Uber driver's like, almost never. Like, you can see where you got picked up. Like, that's one of the whole security features of this app. Jasmine's like, okay, that makes sense. And also the feed store that they remember seeing the night before is still across the street. It's closed, but it's there. They get back in the Uber. They're like, would you mind driving around for a little while and just seeing if there's a bar around here? So he does. He drives around, but it's just fields. There's a couple houses out there, but nothing that looks open for business. Finally, they give up. Jasmine just convinces her coworker that she's going to have to go back to work without the work badge and just say that she lost it at the airport or something. So they do, and they go to the airport, and Jasmine ends up calling her boyfriend, telling him the whole thing about what happened, and he basically tells her, like, are you sure you were at a bar? Like, were you lying to me? It starts a whole fight because he tells her that he never even heard any music in the background. He never heard any people talking, and he was suspicious that she was actually at somebody's house. So that was a fight, but I guess they're good now. Anyway, she says, I still don't know where we went. I don't understand how this place was there one night and it was not there the next. I don't know if this is the same bar that the other commenter had referenced that I showed you guys earlier, because I don't have her story. But if you have ever heard of this, if you're from Louisiana, if you've ever had an experience like this, please weigh in. I would love to hear from you.
Where are you?
But like, even then I can see.
And the water is
How are we supposed to get out of here?
like, I've always, like, the water I've always really close to the edge of that side.
This is pretty bizarre. I don't know who has seen this or not, but at the most recent UFC fight during the pre-show on the Vegas Sphere, they ran some pretty questionable wording and they did it at lightning speed, almost like subliminal messaging. So I'm gonna play it at normal speed. I'm gonna play just a clip of it and then we'll slow it down and really see what they have to say.
Investing with the UCPI in Mexico, he sees what they do, how they show up, how they support their fans. So it's amazing to me to see the growth of the sport. The Mexican fighters are here. The Mexican-born fighters are...
And slowed. They're pretty obvious, like right here. You know, the people that would say it's just words, it's not just words. Why would you put those things in there? Everything has meaning, and everything in this world right now is trying to just detour us off the path of God and get us away. Even this stuff, even the subliminal stuff. Right here. All intentional. Pretty sad world.
If you know, you know.
You're clones. You're copies of people out here in the world.
Our administration believes that there are loopholes that could allow the cloning of human beings.
Why? Some hag trophy wife needs new skin for a facelift, or one of them gets sick and they need a new part. They take it from you.
Kevin Hart's crash, that horrible accident that really when you see the photos, everyone is wondering how in the world they all survived.
I have a clone. It's about a good 3 of me.
Kevin and the 2 other people were in the car with him.
You've seen people die from far lesser car accidents than that.
The DJs claim that Britney and her boyfriend had been killed in a car crash on a Los Angeles freeway. Within hours, the internet was buzzing with the tragic news. The Dallas radio station responsible, KEGL, has spent the day apologizing on air for the hoax.
In 2004, Britney Spears secretly went to work on some music. She wrote an album that she called Original Doll. There were songs where she was talking about feeling like a manufactured pop star. And then there was Mona Lisa.
She wants you to know she's been cloned.
A few years after that, she released a music video, and the video was about her being cloned.
The whole reason you exist is because everyone wants to live forever. It's the new American dream.
We need to talk about this person.
And there's people out there that are rich enough to pay anything for it.
Every Kardashian has a clone stored in Calabasas.
Am I a clone? How would I know if I was the clone or if I was the real one?
I have a clone.
It's like me versus... Whoa, wait, don't give away too much, man.
Yeah, the real Kodak is locked up still. The real Kodak is in an island. It's on an island somewhere.
I know I'm a clone, bro. You're a clone.
I'm a third gen.
I have a clone for music. I have a clone for film. I have a clone for my personal life. I have a clone for my family life as well. So that's how it gets done.
I can say clone. I want to say clone. All right, so there's like a clone.
I think you have to. I think you have to. They kill you if you try to walk away. And they clone you.
Sir. I have never seen anything like this before.
Hold up.
Once again, clones here outside of J-Lo Park Shop.
Ain't that you, Tyrone?
I mean, they do put the truth in movies, but it's just a theory, right?
If I said I had a clone, would y'all believe me? Or would y'all be like, you capping, bro?
1940s lost weight. The first ultra-processed food was Kellogg's Corn Flakes. They partnered with the United Fruit Company. They paid doctors to tell people bananas were a rich source of potassium, which they're not, and to say that the perfect meal to start your day was a bowl of cornflakes with a slice of banana. That's how the famous combo came about. And they went so far as to put a coupon for a bunch of bananas in every box of Kellogg's Corn Flakes. No human being had a bowl of dry breakfast cereal prior to 1906. Cereal was invented by the Kellogg's brothers, and it was actually these companies that convinced people the healthiest way to start your morning was a bowl of cereal with milk. Also, oats are basically pure sugar. Oatmeal is good for one thing, and that's for fattening horses for the winter. Remember, breakfast is break fast. Lots of human and animal studies have shown the longer you delay eating breakfast, the more ketones and weight loss you will achieve. If you're eventually going to have breakfast, look for fat-based sources like an avocado or omega.
Great information.
I don't exist. So they're all characters that I played, including Jim Carrey, including Joel Barish, including any of those things. They're all characters. Jim Carrey was a less intentional character because I thought I was just building something that people would like, but it was a character. I played the guy that was free from concern so that people who watched me would be free from concern.
How can you tell if you are a reptiloid or if there is a reptiloid near you? Their distinguishing feature is that they have no connection to the earth. What does it mean to have a connection to the earth? It means being able to draw energy from the earth and from nature, as well as release negativity into the ground. A reptiloid entity does not have such a connection, so it can only feed on energy from people. These are so-called energy vampires. How do they feed? Often they are trolls like this. You know, there are people on the internet who love to troll, who enjoy provoking negative emotions, intimidating, driving others to hysteria, destabilizing, creating dependencies, and manipulating. The second sign is the eyes. If a person's eyes are the mirror of the soul, a reptiloid does not have this. And the eyes of reptiloids are cold, they don't look like human eyes. There's something reptilian or even fish-like about them. They love power. Often they become politicians, they become leaders of cults. They like to be spiritual teachers, gurus.
Everybody calls me crazy when I say a synagogue of reptilians, or when I bring up the fact that yes, shape-shifting reptilians are biblical. The Bible starts with a shape-shifting, deceptive reptilian. It ends with the same. You have David saying things like, lizards are in king's palaces. Jesus repeatedly calls the same exact group reptiles, serpents, vipers, says that they've created a den of thieves. And he only refers to one specific group in this way. So we have this incident in New York City a couple years back, and then we have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles who live in the sewers underneath New York City, and they eat pizza. I also just saw a trailer. They're coming out with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Chrome. It shows them literally morphing into Nephilim. Like they grow extra fingers and stuff and they become gigantic. But I want to show you this movie I came across on YouTube because I actually cannot believe how upfront it is.
The creatures who deceive the humans in the name of God were reptile-like aliens called reptilians. The reptilians liked to eat the animals of Earth and occasionally enjoyed eating human flesh too.
They brainwashed the Earthlings by using the name of God, when their true intentions were to invade and overtake the Earth.
But this was a violation of the Universal Code, which states that no planet should interfere with any other planet as long as its people live with the spirit of love and harmony.
They cunningly devised a plan that would not breach the Universal Code.
They brainwashed individuals and used them to instigate disorder in society. This gave the reptilians a reason to interfere. They then intended to have their compatriots immigrate to Earth so they could control the planet before the space police interfered.
I'm here to take your daughter. She has been chosen to be the next sacrifice to God. Listen well, everyone. I have a message directly from God. He wants you all to know that we are the chosen people. God has promised us endless life and everlasting youth. And now let the sacrifice begin.
That's a movie called Laws of the Sun, and it came out in the year 2000.
I hope that clip can stay in.
Y'all really got to be careful when it come down to going down these conspiracy theory rabbit holes, because, bro, you really can get lost.
I'm talking about you will get lost in the depths of your own mind. You get lost simply by engulfing too much knowledge. And there's so many conspiracies I can mention, but I've had a video get taken down before because I've said some of the conspiracies. But y'all know what I mean, though. I know a lot of y'all have heard of P-Gate. You know what I'm talking about, P-Gate? Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. Underground tunnels all under the U.S. Adrena. Y'all know what I'm talking about, Adrena. Yeah, because I can't say it. I'm going to get the video took down again. Aliens, cryptids, the list goes on and on and on. You start getting into flat earth and giants and Nephilim and all. Bro, it's so much to go over. You will get lost in the sauce. You literally will lose touch with reality if you go too deep and you don't know how to come back up to reality. Like, y'all really need a kick. Like, y'all remember the movie Inception? You need a kick to kick you back up through the levels that you diving into. I'm trying to tell you, man, this conspiracy theory shit'll drive you bonkers.
Facts, y'all don't even know. Bro, yesterday was one of them days where I had to get myself, how I had to get myself back up to that level. I was literally in a bed, bro. I will never lay down during the day. I started getting dizzy. I started feeling weird. Started feeling like I was gonna pass out. Ears started ringing, bro. And I was playing college football. And next thing you know, I was like, you gotta chill, bro. You gotta relax. Because see, I be going and going and going and going and going, and I don't give myself a chance to relax. And then I start thinking about all this shit throughout the day, all my personal shit. It just be too much to carry sometimes. But y'all don't see those days. I made a promise to myself that we're gonna go hard every day. And even though if I go through something, I don't want y'all to see it. Cause brighter days is coming. So why am I gonna complain about some hard shit one day and I know tomorrow gonna be a miracle? That's how you gotta look at life, though. It's gonna be some tough days, but them good days gonna be great. So I gotta look at it. And you gonna get yourself out of it. But that's how I look at it. And I feel him on that. I feel him on that, bro. Because yesterday was one of them days for me where I had to find a kick to get myself back up. It was just rest, though. That's all it was.
I found this book at the local antique shop yesterday. And it was written in 1926 by Major General Count Sheriff Spiridovich. The Secret World Government, or the Hidden Hand, Unrevealed in History, 100 Historical Mysteries Explained. This man is explaining that there's a hidden hand, there's a secret government, and they are of the nature of the individuals who are taking over now, the blues with a J, that they are the ones that have been running society because they made a pact with a god. He calls it Satan, but that's his position. But I want to read to you this very specific. I have to be careful about what I really was trying to debate whether to put this on the internet at all because it could really get me in trouble. But this particular page, I just want you to see this particular part where he says right here, he's talking about proof of the existence of this invisible world government, this hidden hand. He says, the world is governed by very different personages from what is imagined by those who are not behind the scenes, i.e., not by kings and ministers. Disraeli said not others, but different, which means not the kings, ministers, or other similar men, but absolutely different, possibly even of a different race. Who they are must be known first of all, and only then can we control them and establish peace, but not before. You know how I'm always saying, I'm calling them creatures and creeps, and I'm saying they're not human. I don't know what they are. And this has been my biggest reason around this. I ain't unifying because I don't know what these things are. This apparently has been known. This has nothing to do with religion. I'm not talking about religion or race. I'm talking about like a species of a soul or something that's on this planet. And that's what he's talking about here. Yeah, he says, Bismarck, the Iron Chancellor, perceived the existence of invisible forces, but could not or did not wish to formulate them, and called them imponderabilia, powers which no one could fathom. I think I saw where you could get this book, like a free PDF, and read it. I didn't try the link, but I did see something come up in my Google search about it, so maybe you can find it and read it. I don't know how available it is to get your hands on, but this is a very valuable book. He says he's going, I haven't finished reading yet, but it looks like he's about to tell us why France and Russia went into the War of 1812. He said it was a hidden hand that organized it. He says earlier also that the Civil War was absolutely 100% organized, and yeah, nothing about that was organic or true as far as the version of the story that they told. But yes, I recommend if you could get your hands on this book. If you Google this guy, it's going to say he's racist and anti-semi-truck. But that's because of what he says in this book.
I need to get my hands on that book. We know there's a hidden hand.
The year 1812 was the year they killed Tartaria of every major Tartarian city: Moscow, St. Petersburg, New York, Philadelphia. In South America, the earthquake of Caracas destroyed the city on March 26, 1812. And then the fires came. City after city: Moscow, St. Petersburg, Kazan, Smolensk, simultaneously or in rapid succession. Each fire described with the same impossible characteristics: too hot, too fast, too complete, stone melting, metal flowing like water. In Asia, records show catastrophic fires across major cities: Delhi, Calcutta, Manila, all in 1812 or 1813, all described with the same impossible intensity. This wasn't regional. A polite way of saying civilization stopped, completely, at exactly the same moment. And when it started again, it was different, simpler, smaller, as if something had reset everything. But it's not just Russia. It's the remnant, the survivors, the children of catastrophe, who forgot their own history because someone made sure we would forget. And beneath the rubble, we find foundations, magnificent foundations, of buildings far greater than what now stands, as if we are rebuilding poorly on the bones of giants. I found a French military report, buried in archives, describing what Napoleon's scouts found as they advanced into Russia. Empty cities, perfectly intact but abandoned, buildings undamaged, food still on tables, possessions left behind, as if entire populations had simply vanished. The report called it the Great Silence. Mile after mile of civilization with no one living in it. That's not war, that's evacuation. Mass evacuation before something catastrophic. And then the fires came. City after city: Moscow, St. Petersburg, Kazan, Smolensk, simultaneously or in rapid succession. Each fire described with the same impossible characteristics: too hot, too fast, too complete, stone melting, metal flowing like water, destruction so absolute that in some cities nothing remained but glass and ash. Glass. Let me explain something about glass. Normal fires don't create glass. To turn sand and stone into glass requires temperatures above 1,400 degrees Celsius, sustained temperatures.
I just be wondering, like, let's just call it the hidden hand. The royals, the royal families. They had to have struck a deal with some type of evil entity, demon, devil, something, god of the underworld, something. It had to be something, bro, for them to get all this knowledge and that whole plan, that whole map, to just map all this out for as long as they have. War between the war on this planet, the war on Earth is not between black or white. It's not between Asian and nothing, no other. It's not between colors. It's between good and bad, good and evil, righteous and the unrighteous. That's what I feel like the war is. And they distract us with the little shit so that we don't never realize, bro, it's all about good and bad. If you good, you rock with me. If you bad, you don't rock with me. It's literally that simple. What you believe. If you live right, we're good. If you live wrong, we're not good. That's why they keep us so distracted, bro. That's why they give you, if you don't believe in this, we can't be cool. No, bro, all that. That's why the world is the way it is. How I look at this right here is, them royal families, they struck a deal with the devil. The devil gave them the map, the game plan on how to execute, and they executing. And they whooping our ass right now. So whoever watching this right now who feel like I can't rock with whoever because they don't believe in exactly what the hell I believe, your ass need to hit that door. Because at the end of the day, bro, that's what keep the world the way it is. We have to look at shit different if we want different results. This right here, bro, this right here is just their ultimate plan of eliminating history and resetting shit. That's all it is, and it's literally so simple. We could all fix the shit today if we wanted to. Maybe not today, but you get what I mean. We can start fixing it today. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts, bro. I just feel like we too distracted, too divided, and it's always over the dumbest shit. And it's like, bro, you don't even understand. The more you spend time on that dumb shit, the more they get further and diddying us from the back. Straight up.
Did you know there's a 2-year-old girl's body who is so perfectly preserved that her eyes appear to open and close? Appear to. She was preserved in 1920 Sicily after having died from pneumonia. Her body is on display still to this day in the catacombs. Like, it looks like her eyes are opening and closing, but the reality of the situation is that her eyes were never closed when she was embalmed. It's just the way the lighting is and different humidity changes throughout the day makes it appears like her eyes open and close. Isn't that freaky? She doesn't look like a mummy or a preserved corpse. If you look at the photos of her on Google, I'm not gonna put them up for obvious reasons. She looks like a sleeping child. Her body is still on display to this day. Also, this tragedy happened in Palermo, Sicily, a place where the catacombs are much scarier than Paris's catacombs. The bodies in this catacombs weren't just thrown there or buried. No, they are lined up against the walls and on display. But they do not display children up against the wall like everybody else who would have their family members change outfits occasionally for the seasons. No, but children were laid down peacefully to look like they were sleeping. Also, the catacombs are arranged with like a social hierarchy with men, women separated, children separated, virgin and priest separated, and different professionals. Also, these catacombs were still used up until like the 1920s, meaning the bodies there still have living grandchildren.
I'm in Tokyo right now, walking through our neighborhood, and my husband just made an observation. Just hold on, look at this. Okay, we're just in like our neighborhood that we're staying in Airbnb. I'm whispering because you can't talk at full volume. And what did you say about the street, the literal public street we're walking on right now?
Well, it's just the cleanest street I've ever walked on. I'd probably eat a meal off the ground.
You want to see the ground? You could eat a meal off of this pavement right now. Tokyo is by far the cleanest place I think I've maybe ever visited. I might be overlooking something, but it's uncanny how clean it is. And this pavement is like turf, and so it's quiet. So in the neighborhoods, you can't hear cars and people walking on all night. It's like absorbs sound. Everything is just very considerate here. And better.
Reason why America won't give us the same comfort or consideration, because being uncomfortable is an act of war, depending on how far you take it. And I feel like that's what they do on us, bro. Hey, this is entertainment. What I said ain't true. It's not real. But y'all let me know y'all thoughts. Y'all let me know y'all opinions. I know somebody again in the comments is going to say these people are paid to say that. Well, America ain't that damn clean. Go to New York. Remember when it flooded in New York? What the hell did that shit look like? That was nasty. Y'all know it was nasty. America, we sometimes dirty, lazy, and nasty. It's just simple. No offense. We got to be truthful. We got to hold ourselves accountable, bro, for our own actions. And somebody got to be honest. But y'all let me know y'all thoughts. Y'all let me know y'all opinions. Because downtown Sac is dirty, bro. People be taking dumps on the ground and the homeless be taking dumps on the ground, and you got to watch where you walking. Literally. If you think I'm capping, bro, leave old Sac. Go through the tunnel. Y'all know the colorful tunnel. Go through there. Right before you go down, you going to see that shit all right there. Trust me, bro. If I'm lying, if y'all been there, y'all know I ain't lying, bro. It's always brown in that region. Shit crazy. But y'all let me know y'all thoughts again. Y'all know we made it to the end of this. And if you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos every smooth 7. And this is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps Collective grow, helps Collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. But I appreciate y'all keep watching on TV, whatever the case is. I wish it was smooth 7. Until I see everybody in the next one, y'all know what it is. We gone.
Ay, yeah, I just check my account. Sheesh, at the amount. You probably know